This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Another question here. Hey, Arn, what are your thoughts on using time limits in pro wrestling? It seems like WWE never uses time limits, but AEW does use time limits, and I personally like them and think they add drama to the match if used properly. I mean, I think everybody listening to this probably agrees with that, Arn. Do you think that Vince just feels like that's sort of antiquated? Maybe Kevin Dunn doesn't like it. Why don't you think WWE uses time limits? It feels like it was a big part of wrestling for a long time, but slowly but surely, perhaps WWE has gotten rid of it.
Well, because for the longest time, the actual match was the least thing considered. Well, you're going to put time limits on. What are you going to have, a 6-minute time limit? You know, it's the time that is devoted to the actual matches is the last thing considered. And someone did a survey. I remember hearing that, okay, 6 minutes is most audience members' focus. They can't watch for longer than 6 minutes. Well, they can if you give them something good and something that'll hook them, because 6 minutes, really, less entrances is 4 minutes, less exit is 2 minutes. Not much storytelling you can do in that, but you have to include every bit of that in the time. So, the main thing is having enough time. And then once you have enough time to get invested in the match and realize you've got a 15 or 20-minute time limit, and you go 12 or 14 or 16 or 18 minutes, or, as we saw with Orange and Cody, those guys went 19 minutes and 58 seconds or something. And there was 1 second away from there being a fall, and that's drama in anybody's book. It was so close. Literally 1 second determined, if there was going to be a resolution to that match. So it can be really, really good if you, like the guy said, feature it and treat it right.
Craig wants to know, did you ever get a chance to work with Lance Storm in WWE? You and Lance are two of my all-time favorites, and I would be interested to hear if you crossed paths and what the interaction was like. And to my surprise, Lance Storm saw the tweet and said, "Yeah, Arn was my agent many times in both WCW and WWE." What say you, Arn? What was it like working with Lance?
Oh, I love Lance. He's a gentleman. He's a polished performer. And, he's a ring general. He's a guy that I could just say, hey, here's your own segment, so-and-so with so-and-so. You got roughly this much time. I'll get back to you later this afternoon. Let me know what you want to do. Now, in my position, do you know how refreshing that was to be able to do that occasionally? Unbelievable. You had a lot of green guys that I was having to really structure beginning to end for them because they just didn't know. But Lance was one of those guys that, very, very good head for the business, accomplished worker, smooth as silk. And, when you can get back to him 2 hours later and he has a game plan, usually we just went with what he had. And that was a day off for me.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.